Welcome to Country Fried Rock, where we talk with musicians to find out what inspires their creativity. Country Fried Rock, music uncovered. This week on Country Fried Rock, we're doing something a little bit different. As many of you know, I'm based in South Carolina. I'm connected to a lot of North Carolina musicians as well. And while the two states are very different, our news coverage frequently overlaps. And that's how I came to know about this particular issue. We're talking with Caitlin-Cary about a music project specific to North Carolina that has implications across the country. I'm interested in this from the standpoint of the role of protest music in current day life. Whether you agree or disagree with the causes behind this, the thought process behind the North Carolina Music Love Army's grassroots effort to make changes in their state is a really interesting commentary on the current role and possible role of folk music in America today. It's not just a bunch of old hippies 45 years ago. So that's how we've got Caitlin-Cary today talking about her current project for social change called the North Carolina Music Love Army on Country Fried Rock. Tell me a little bit how the project came together initially.
Well, over the course of spring into summer, we began, I'm embarrassed to say I don't know exactly when the Moral Monday marches began, protests, but they started to really swell and grow into the summer, and about May, I started going every single week with a group of friends who are all musicians. And we were going and then having meals together and talking and just sort of processing not only the terrible things that just kept coming one right after the other, but also the amazingness of the response that was happening around us and the amazing feeling of being able to stand shoulder to shoulder with so many people who, felt like we did. And so I came home from one of those and probably had a few glasses of wine, and I called up my friend. Here's the other thing. Django from Old Ceremony posted a protest song right around, I think maybe I saw it on that same day that I'm talking about. He had quickly and angrily penned a song and posted it on YouTube in a rough form. And then my friend Jon Lindsay, who lives in Charlotte, singer-songwriter, saw that, got inspired, wrote his own song, posted it that same night, and then later that night, John and I talked on the phone for a couple hours, and we just started brainstorming, feeling both empowered by what was happening and also like powerless as musicians to figure out what it was that we could do with our talents, and we just sort of formulated this rough plan of like, we got to get our friends who we know feel like we do together somehow and make music a part of this in a way that, I think a lot got spoken about over the course of those months that we were attending the protests about how a lot of the folks are older and the people who are being arrested were older and the people who, are on the stage are older, and a big part of the goal should be to try to involve younger people who feel too busy to be involved or who don't connect with this or view it as some kind of a, aging hippie phenomenon and or don't have their antenna pointed directly towards politics in the way that our older generations, because for whatever the reasons are. So it was we felt strongly that music could draw attention and also express things in a way that could possibly, it's not adding levity, of course, but it's adding fun and joy and all the things that music does for people need to be in these movements, I think, and they always have been. And there were people performing on the stages every week, but there was not I mean, it's funny, when we came up with this idea, I thought, to be sure, we'll be one of many. And so far, that's not been the case. We are the, I thought collectives of local musicians would pop up around us all over the place. To be fair, they may be, because I've been so buried in this, I probably wouldn't even know if there were other things coming up. The Whiskeytown days are foggy, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm Caitlin-Cary. I represent the North Carolina Music Love Army. We hope you'll come and check out our website, ncmusiclovearmy.org, and find out what we're working on and listen to our music and help support our moral cause.
Country Fried Rock is proud to announce our second compilation to raise funds and awareness for musicians' mental health services. You can help keep music alive. Check it out at countryfriedrock.bandcamp.com. CradleandJonLindsay.com. All of the proceeds raised go directly to the model program for community-based mental health services, reaching the musician community of Athens, Georgia. Born of tragedy, but making a difference for people right now. Prevent musician suicide. You know an organization makes a difference when people like this step up to the plate and donate songs. We thank them, and we thank you for your generous contributions to preventing musician suicide. Keep music alive. The project has continued to develop as y'all talked and kind of laid a framework for it. And out of passion, both Django and Jon wrote these songs early on. When did it keep moving forward into like, okay, this isn't just a passion and a cause, but this is going to be a project?
Well, it developed really quickly because of our sweet Facebook, and because, the minute we started reaching out to our friends who are musicians, there were so many yeses. So, really it was just, hey guys, we're doing this thing, do you want to participate? And in terms of who we recruited to write, we knew we wanted to move really fast to try to catch the wave of this. And so we asked particular people to write songs, and I think originally we thought it would be a 5-song EP, and so we got these 5 songs we loved, the 2 from Django and from Jon, and then one that I wrote on the heels of this, they call it the motorcycle safety bill, where they, in the middle of the night, passed this wretched legislation that makes new rules for clinics that will be very difficult for them to conform to, that limits women's access to health care. It passed, and it's devastating. It's causing, Planned Parenthood to have to fundraise in a way that they've never had to do before to try to upgrade clinics to continue to allow access. And we're going to do it, but it sucks. So anyway, that song came spilling out of me, the chorus of it, and I went to my friend Shirlette for the verses. She's a poet and hip-hop spoken word artist and very, very connected to North Carolina in a way, like she's a true native. And I was like, I need you, Shirlette, because you're going to bring this to, the chorus is it's a sing-along, it's pissed off, it's kind of just sort of simple wordplay about you don't own my body and I didn't vote for your body, and it's a good sing-along, folky chorus, and then Shirlette put these amazing verses to it. And then Lynn Blakey, who is my bandmate in Tres Chicas, we had come up with the name of the project, the NC Music Love Army, and she wrote a song called Army of Love, just sort of riffing on that. And Lynn is the uniter. She's the sweet one, the sweetheart, and she was one of the people who had been attending the protests with me every Monday, and I think her song expresses that unity that I was talking about and that feeling of we aren't alone and we are together and we can fight this and we are a moral people and we can go for a moral government, So it's the less enraged song, but, still very deep and expressing what's going on, no doubt. And then our friend Snooze, who, I don't know if you're familiar with him, he is a pop songmaster. He was in Ben Folds 5 for a while, I think, or in a band with Ben Folds or something. He's just Snooze to us, funny how many people's pedigrees I don't really know. You just sort of assume you know them because they're your bud. His song is North Carolina, We're Better Than This, and again, he's basically just expressing that thing of like, oh my God, we've had enough trouble in North Carolina over our long history. Can we please not go backwards? Can we please not be embarrassed of our state? Can we please acknowledge that we have to be moral and take care of people? And, so, but it's a sweet, and his voice is so endearing. Hi, this is Caitlin-Cary. I'm with the North Carolina Music Love Army. We'll be dropping a record, a CD, and download on November 26th. It's about changing politics in North Carolina and beyond. We hope you'll visit our website, northcarolinamusiclovearmy.org.
Did you know you can download each podcast for free? Just scroll down to the bottom of the page on countryfriedrock.org.
The good thing for us is that if we can keep up our energy, which is sometimes really hard because I'm also finding that working in the political arena has a lot of very unique and somewhat frightening and sometimes legally scary implications that I'm not used to dealing with because this is my first foray into it. But if we can keep up the momentum, our plan is, of course, to keep this thing going through until next year's election, which is the one where we can pray that we can actually make a difference. And so we're planning to continue to release music and do concerts throughout the year and stuff. So I hope we'll be able to attract some of the bigger names. Once this catches on in a small way, we're hoping it'll catch on in a big way.
I know that you all hope to raise some money through the sales of this album. Who is it that you hope to benefit?
Yes, we are praying that music can still make money. We do feel like a big part of this whole project, writ large, the project is that Republicans have a lot of money and liberals don't always. So we do hope to raise funds. We're desperately hoping for that. And, every cent, nobody's making any money on this, none of the artists. It will all be given to 3 organizations who are on the front lines of this fight, particularly one that is focused on women's rights and health, and the other 2 who are more generally battling in the halls of justice to bring sanity back to our government. And they're all very reputable organizations who we know will use the funds. And we're really hoping that the songs themselves can be useful in this fight. We'd be delighted if people use them in campaign ads or in awareness-raising public service ads or whatever. We feel like, everyone knows the proceeds from record sales these days might not mean much, but we feel like the songs can go out and do good works on their own, too. So we'll be working towards that. Just from the perspective of having jumped into this work, it's certainly not just Democrats or flaming liberals that are mad and upset right now. This is not about parties. This is about basic care for people and not letting people be hungry or be sick or be abandoned, or be disenfranchised and not allowed to vote. I mean, these are not party issues. These are, humanitarian issues. This is about what kind of a country we want to live in. Once the songs get into the world, we believe in our hearts that it's going to take off because the songs are really good. The writing is good, and the energy is huge, and the problem is so national. It's like everybody can get comfortable and imagine that their state, that this wouldn't happen in their state, but that's what we thought, too. We were heading in a progressive direction, I thought. I think I and a lot of other liberals got real complacent because it just felt like that's where our state was heading, and then all of a sudden we just got hijacked, I feel so, and it wasn't me who struck upon this, it was another Love Army member who said, it makes sense for this project to spread out over the country because this problem, money-driven, I don't want to be overly, destructive against the quote-unquote other side or anything like that. But my point is that it's coming to everywhere. It's the threat in every state in the nation, I think, and progressives just have to keep their eyes wide open. I mentioned earlier that I myself became complacent because in my own state of North Carolina, I felt as though slowly but surely we were moving in this more blue than red and at least purple, and things just felt like they were headed on this course. And it was Amendment 1, which was the first amendment to our Constitution that denies the right of gay couples to marry, that in the Constitution, that was the first wake-up call. And those laws are being passed in states around the country, and it's just, I just want to give a clarion call that these songs are specific to our state and the issues here, but those issues are definitely germane in all over the country. And we want the Love Army to be, the letters NC don't have to stay in front of it forever. You know what I mean? Like this is a project for everybody that anybody can sort of claim. Anybody's welcome to use the name and that wants to do good work. We want it to spread for sure. Hi, I'm Caitlin-Cary. I'm with the North Carolina Music Love Army. We will be dropping a record, a CD and download on November 26th. Our project is about bringing moral governance back to North Carolina and also to the rest of the country. So we hope you'll pay attention. You can check out our website, ncmusiclovearmy.org, and we would love for you to hear our songs, and we would love to hear from you.
Never miss a radio show from Country Fried Rock. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. Just search Country Fried Rock.
So there's 5 songs, and I think for a long time we thought that we were, a long time, like 1 week, we thought we were going to put out an EP. And of course we're Tumblring and Facebooking and letting people know that this is happening, and we went into the studio and recorded all these songs with about 25 artists coming in to play and or sing or both. And we had a couple, we had an open rehearsal the day before the recording that was at the Pinhook in Durham, and a bunch of people came out, and the news came, and the press was amazing. We got a cover story in our local weekly. We really hit the ground running. And so from that, by our invitation and also by people coming and asking us, we realized that there were more people who wanted to contribute, but we didn't think we could get it together to do this big group project thing. So we asked for individual tracks, which we got amazing stuff from Rhiannon, from Laura Lynn, from His Golden Messenger, from Charlotte, who wrote the verses paired up with another poet, and they do a really incredible spoken word thing. So yeah, we were able to sort of curate what we're calling the guerrilla side. Chris Stamey, all of the recording and mastering and mixing and everything was donated by some of the greats. We recorded it with Greg Elkins, who's here in Raleigh, and he generously gave us his studio and all of his time for about 48 hours. And that's how we did the basics. And most of the recording was done on that day, and then there was an overdub day. And then Chris Stamey gave us his mix studio and himself, and Jeff Carroll mastered, and everybody just was amazing and donated their time. And we are distributing through Red Eye. Yeah, and it's going to be on vinyl and CD and download, obviously, and it drops really soon on the 26th.
Are y'all doing a big live thing as well?
A big live thing on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, which we are praying was a good decision and not a dumb one.
Caitlin, thank you so much for your time. Take care.
Thanks so much, Sloan. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Country Fried Rock, music uncovered. Find our full playlist at countryfriedrock.org. You can subscribe to our weekly podcast on iTunes. Just search Country Fried Rock. Our theme music is from The Heap. Check them out at heapdeluxe.com. That's HEAPDELUXE. Our Country Fried Rock stinger is from Steve Soto and the Twisted Hearts. Country Fried Rock. Copyright 2013 by Lilypad Productions. All rights reserved. Country Fried Rock is a partnership with the nonprofit Florence Regional Arts Alliance. Your donations to this program are tax-deductible to the extent you are eligible under U.S. law. Country Fried Rock radio programs are distributed to public radio through the Public Radio Exchange, prx.org.
Ever he been helping us some country fried